11 common things that don't exist outside of the US. So, like, I'm trying hard to think about this. Like, what could these 11 things be? Because it's so simple. It's similar, but it's different. The UK and the US. Like, we do a lot of the same things. We eat a lot of the same food, watch a lot of the same movies. But because the countries are not so far away, a few thousand miles, I guess that's pretty far. I suppose there will be things that we have here that you don't, and vice versa. But what could they be?
Chocolate chip cookies, dental floss, traffic lights, all great American inventions. These things originated in America but are now all over the world. But if you think that everything American is in every other country, then you'd be wrong. There are some things that you just don't see outside of the USA. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at 11 common things that don't exist outside the USA. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too?
Let's go.
Coming up first, we have medical and lawyer ads. If you're not from the USA but have gone to visit, I'm sure you switched on the TV and heard this phrase. Ask your doctor if this product is right for you. And then, most likely, a big list of scary warnings and side effects. This is something that only happens in America, and it's advertising for medical products. Outside the USA, it's weird to see commercials for medical-related things. Most people would just go to their doctor and get what their doctor suggests. But in the USA, it's common to see medical things advertised as if they were any other product. But medical ads aren't the only odd advertising you'll see in the USA. Another thing you'll often see is adverts for lawyers.
Man, these were everywhere. Like, on most highways, there were these huge billboards for, like, have you had an accident that wasn't your fault? Call 0800, get money now, or something like that.
I'm not talking about Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad. Believe it or not, that's not just in TV shows. In the USA, lawyers really do advertise on TV. Did you know that 60% of the world's lawyers reside in the USA?
Wow.
And the USA is said to be the most litigious country in the world. This means the most lawsuits come from inside the USA. Next.
Americans watching this, have you ever, like, launched a lawsuit? Did you win? Like, I mean, obviously, if you don't want to share, you don't have to. But I want to sort of gauge how many, is doing a lawsuit that sort of common.
Next up is spray cheese. When you think of cheese, you probably think France. Luxurious French cheese is a staple of fine dining around the world. But the USA has a different kind of dairy-based delicacy. That is spray cheese. Cheese is eaten a lot in the USA. In fact, the USA is the world's largest consumer of cheese.
Wow.
But America also loves convenience, and that's why cheese can be bought in a can in the USA. Now, spray cheese is actually only 51% cheese. By law, to call a product what it is, it must be at least half that product. So that's why it's only 51% cheese, not a percentage higher. The other 49% is flavorings, protein, and ingredients. Spray cheese has been big in the USA since the 1960s. And it's even sold in various flavors. For example, cheddar, bacon, and even American flavor. I wonder what that is.
Even though I know that it's probably not the healthiest, I really want to try spray cheese. Like, just spraying a bit on toast. Very convenient, to be fair.
Next up is garbage disposals. I'm sure you've seen in movies and TV shows how Americans throw their food scraps into the sink. You may think, what happens to them? Do they just sit there? Well, no, they go into what's called a garbage disposal. These things actually
So
only
is that what they look like inside the sink? It almost looks like a giant flask.
The USA. In other countries, food scraps would be put in the kitchen bin. But why is it that only in America do they use garbage disposals? Well, the reason why is because in many other countries it's banned. This is because it's not very environmentally friendly. That's because all of the food is mixed in with the general water waste. This then at some point must be filtered out. So it wastes a lot of energy, but it is convenient. Next up is college sport.
Yeah, I suppose just getting the food and scraping it into the bin, the trash can, would save a lot of the energy that's needed to, like, grind it down and stuff. But it is convenient. But what about, like, bones and things like that? You can't put bones down there, can you?
Every country loves sports, whether it's cricket in India, football in Spain, or baseball in the USA. But only in the USA are they obsessed with college sports. Every country loves professional sport leagues, and the USA is no exception. But one thing that's different about the USA is that they love college sports as much as regular professional sports.
It's a huge deal.
No other country gets behind colleges as much as the USA does. If you ask people in other countries if they can name a college team of any other sport, chances are they can't.
No chance.
In other countries, college sports are not broadcast on TV. And they also don't make any money at all, as opposed to the millions made in US college sports. In the USA, college football brings in thousands of spectators to fill up stadiums. But in other countries, college football games are lucky if they even get the friends and family of the people involved watching. Also, the biggest stadiums in the USA are pretty much all college football stadiums. Out of the top 15 biggest stadiums in the USA, all 15 are college football stadiums.
It's crazy.
The largest of which being the Michigan Stadium, which can hold over 100,000 fans.
The college football scene is just the college sports scene in America always blows my mind. Like, first of all, there isn't a stadium in the UK that has 100,000 people. Like, even the biggest teams in the UK, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, like nowhere near 100,000. So to think that in America you've got 100,000 stadiums for college sports teams?
Next up is white teeth. Have you ever wondered why all Americans seem to have great white teeth? It seems for some reason people in the USA are obsessed with getting the perfect teeth. And by perfect, I mean white and straight. Americans actually spend more money than any other country to make sure their teeth are white and straight. But despite all the money that's spent on getting white and straight teeth, that does not necessarily mean they're more healthy. For example, the British are often mocked for their bad teeth. But according to a Harvard University study, British teeth are actually more healthy than American teeth.
How are my teeth? Any good? So-so.
Trust me, not all Brits look like Austin Powers. One reason why this may be is because in the UK, under 18s can get braces for free. However, in America, they're very expensive, and there's a good reason for that. According to a study by New York Mag in the USA, good teeth can be the difference between getting a second date and not. Apparently, 38% of Americans will turn someone down for a second date if they have bad teeth. And 60% of Americans say they perceive someone as smarter if they have straight white teeth.
Really?
Next up is Black Friday.
Teeth is a big one, to be fair. In terms of attraction, it's one of the first things that you see when you look at somebody, isn't it? But, you know, it's expensive, like dental. I mean, in America, do your health insurance policies cover dental? Here, you gotta do it privately, unless your teeth are literally falling out.
Friday. If you're not from the USA, you may not understand why everyone goes so crazy on this day every single year. Black Friday is the name given to the day after Thanksgiving, which is another American holiday. The term Black Friday came about because of the amount of accidents and sometimes even violence shoppers create. People go crazy for all the deals in the stores, and sometimes there are riots just to get into a shop.
Wow.
Black Friday has expanded to other countries, for example the UK. But videos of Black Friday in other countries have gone viral for different reasons. That's because no one really cares about Black Friday in other countries. And shops often only get 1 or 2 extra visitors than on a normal day. Billions of dollars are spent in the USA every time Black Friday rolls around. But it seems the rest of the world just isn't into it.
Man, some of the videos I've seen of Black Friday of people like almost stampedes happening is it blows my mind. Like, have you ever what's the craziest Black Friday situation you've been in? Like, have you had to literally push somebody to get the TV or whatever it is, or is it usually quite civilized where you guys go shopping?
Next up is solo cups. If you're American, this may come as a surprise, but red solo cups are seen as a very American thing. In movies and TV shows, everyone drinks out of them at parties. And many tourists actually bring back a red solo cup to their own countries when going to America. That's because it's seen as a piece of American iconography, although many Americans don't realize this. In other countries, people simply drink from beer bottles or glasses, but in the USA, they use red plastic solo cups.
Yeah. The solo cups are a big thing. whenever I see them, it makes me think of like a frat party, a cool American party, like American Pie, Super Bad, that kind of thing.
Next up is free refills. When I was dining in the USA once, a waiter came up to me and said, "Would you like me to refill your drink?" I said no because the drink was kind of expensive, and they looked at me like I was crazy. That's because it is typical in any American restaurant to have a free refill. In other countries, you'd need to pay if you wanted extra drink, but not in the USA. In other countries, if you pay for one drink, that's what you get. And many Europeans say that they find it very weird when they go to the USA and their glass gets refilled, even if they don't ask.
I think that's great. We need that here.
But personally, I love it.
Yep.
I'm never going to turn down a free drink.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And finally on the list, we have flags. Every country has their flag, but no one shows off their flag more than the USA. If you drive around the USA, it's common to see people flying the American flag on their homes. Also, many buildings, schools, and businesses will have an American flag. This is something you don't see in any other country. According to research, over 150 million American flags are sold every year. And it's not exactly known why people in the USA love to show their flag off so much. Worldwide, the USA flag is the second most famous flag after the Union Jack. But no other country waves their flag as much as they do in the USA. Vote in the poll in the top right corner the most interesting...
I think the flag thing is a brilliant thing. I don't know why patriotism has become slightly frowned upon in the world, or at least in some, parts of popular culture. I think being proud of where you're from is a beautiful thing. Absolutely. That sense of shared identity, I think it's great. Here in England, you very rarely see a flag. Honestly, I've not seen a flag outside someone's house ever. Like, the only times you'll see it are maybe sporting events like the World Cup, where, it's because you're getting behind the England team. But other than sporting events, you just never, ever see flags. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.